Configuration management is the topic in this session. We know that at the beginning of our software development process, we are having the requirement gathering. So then we shall make one software requirement specification document. So sometimes it may happen that when the software is getting developed, a new requirement or set of new requirements have come. So now what will happen, whether these requirements are going to get implemented in the same version or not, that will have some sanction from the higher authorities, and they will check whether this particular requirement implementation will go beyond the budget or overrun the time. So depending upon these criteria, the decision will be taken whether those new requirements are going to get implemented in the present developing version or in the later versions. So now let us concentrate on this configuration management, because this configuration management is actually based on that very scenario whatever I have discussed right now. Configuration management is a process of tracking and controlling the changes in software in terms of the requirements, design, functions and development of the product. So change is inevitable. So changes will be coming. There are different sources of these change requests. In short, we will be calling it as CR. So that's why this configuration management will be dealing with this change management. So IEEE defines it as the process of identifying and defining the items in the system, controlling the change of these items throughout their life cycle, and recording and reporting the status of items and change requests, and verifying the completeness and correctness of the item. So that is the actual definition of our configuration management. So that means it will actually control the change of these items and also their respective life cycles, recording and reporting the status of the items. So what is the current status of these items and change requests, and verifying the completeness and correctness of these items. So generally once the SRS is finalized, there is less chance of requirements of changes from the user. I told you this one, that means when the requirement specification list or the requirement specification document will be finalized, then there is a very low chance to have the new requirements coming from the customer side. So if they occur, the changes are addressed only with prior approval of higher management, as there is a possibility of cost and time overrun. So it may go beyond the budget if you want to implement them, or we can miss the deadline if we want to implement these latter requirements. Now let us go for the baseline. In a very generic way, baseline is the common agreed upon point. So that will be known as the baseline. That means a project will be having a progress, that project will be under constant monitoring and control, which we discussed in the earlier videos. So what we can consider that we shall take the current snapshot of the project regarding the different project activity, progress, the respective status and all, and that will be considered as a baseline. So next time if we have some updates, we will be considering the prior baseline, and depending upon that we shall take the decisions, and then the next baseline will be originated. So in this way, for a single project in its progress, we can keep multiple baselines for the respective growth and the respective, to denote the respective progress of the software development process. A phase of SDLC is assumed over it baselined, that is, baseline is a measurement that defines completeness of a phase. So we know that in case of SDLC, we are having multiple different phases through which a process, the software development is going to take place. So now this baseline will depict the completeness of a certain phase. A phase is baselined when all activities pertaining to it are finished and well documented, and if it was not the final phase, this output would be used in the next immediate phase. So this particular output of this particular phase will be propagated to the next phase if this particular phase is not the final phase. So configuration management is a discipline of organization administration which takes care of occurrence of any changes, and that is the process, requirement, technological, strategical. So these are the changes categories are there, and after a phase is baselined, the configuration management keeps check of any changes done in the software. So now whenever the baseline will be implemented, so whatever the changes, this configuration management will be taking care of that, and whatever the changes have been asked to be done on the software, this configuration management will keep a constant watch on that and keeps check of any changes done in the respective software. So that's why change requests and this baseline, this configuration management, all these terms we are using in our discussion in a very frequent manner. Why change requests? So that is a very important question. Why the change requests used to come? So software must be adapted to meet the requirement of new computing environments or technology. So now what is happening? We have developed one software in say version 1.0. So now we are having another new technology which has come in the market, let it be the version 2.0. So now this particular software has to be migrated from this version to that version, and we can also add some more capabilities. So that might be the to adapt with the new technology, with the new innovations, the change request might get originated. So software must be integrated to implement new business requirements. So that is one particular company that they were in the food product business. So they used to manufacture food products. So now they are migrating along with this food product business. So now they are going for tour and traveling business. So what will happen? That very particular company will be requiring to add more features, more functionalities with respect to the new business wing, whatever they are going to open. So they want to integrate those respective functional requirements in the existing software. So when the company will grow or when the company will sink, so in both cases change requests will get originated. So software must be extended to make it interoperable with other more modern technology platform or different databases. So interoperability is one of the features of a software. So to implement that one, to integrate that one, change requests may get originated. Software must be re-architectured and to make it compatible within the new networking environment. The hardware may change, the software versions may change, the networking environment may change. So both of them, all of them will generate change request. Change control, we are going to discuss change control. So change control is function of configuration management which ensures that all changes made to the software system are consistent and made as per organizational rules and regulations. So this change control will ensure us that the change request has got implemented correctly, maintaining all the organizational rules and the respective regulations. A change in the configuration of product goes through following steps. At first, the identification. A change request arrives from either internal or external sources. So when change request is identified formally, it is properly documented. So at first the change request is to be documented properly. And then validation. Validation, that is the validity of the change request, is checked and its handling procedure is confirmed. So at first we should have to check the validity of that change request. If the validity fails, then there is no question to proceed further, otherwise we shall go for the next steps. Analysis. So the impact of change request is analyzed in terms of the schedule, cost and the required efforts. So it will be analyzed that how much cost, what is the schedule, what is the extra days we might be requiring to reflect the new change request, and what is the effort required. So overall impact of the prospective change on the system will be analyzed. So that is the purpose of the analysis phase. But obviously if the validation phase says that it is validated properly, then only this analysis phase will come. Next one is the control. If the prospective change either impacts too many entities in the system or it is unavoidable, and then it is mandatory to take approval of higher authorities before change is getting incorporated onto the system. If you find that if the change request is involving with different entities in the respective software system, and it is unavoidable that they are going to get affected, so that's why you should take the permission from the higher authority before getting this change request incorporated in the existing software. It is decided if the change is worth incorporation or not. If it is not, change request is refused formally. So next one, the execution. If the previous phase determines to execute the change request, the phase takes appropriate actions to execute the change through a thorough revision if necessary. So if the higher authority permits, if the higher authority gives the sanction of this change request, then only the execution phase will take place, and it will take all the actions to execute the change and through a thorough revision if necessary. Next one is the close request. The change is verified by correct implementation and merging with the rest of the system. So now the change has got implemented, now it will get merged with the rest part of the system. This newly incorporated change in the software is documented properly and the request is formally closed. So in this way, the request has got attended, has got implemented, now it will be merged with the existing other domain or other part of the software, and then the close request will take place. So in this way, we have discussed what is the configuration management in this particular video. Thanks for watching this video.
Tutorialspoint.com. Simply easy learning.